Why you still cannot speak Vietnamese? Where is the problem? So first, let's figure it out why you want to start learning Vietnamese. Because for your work, or just simply because you want to connect with the people who living in Vietnam, or you just want to challenge yourself by learning a new language. Whatever reason is it, you should not give up so easily. It's very common when I heard that one of my students come up to me and say, "Oh, I'm scared," or "I am embarrassed," or "I'm shy to talk to people," because she or he really afraid that people judging or will laughing at their face or just posing. I don't know what you were saying, and all of this make is a barrier and make themselves feel like, oh, I don't want to speaking Vietnamese anymore. It's so slow, people don't understand, I am embarrassed. I mean, not only for languages, sometimes with other things in your life is also happen. When you just started learning new thing and when you're not good at it, of course you make mistake and people don't understand you. I am also a language learner, so I really understand it, how it feels. The difference between me and you is I am learning English for longer time, maybe for you to learn Vietnamese. When I just barely speaking English, it's so tiring for me to think in English and to speak in English. It takes a long time because I didn't get used to the language. I don't have the reaction like when my friend started talking to me and I have to arrange things in my head and try to translate it in my head, and then I would think in Vietnamese and then I translate in English and then I speak. It takes me so long. A lot of people told me Vietnamese language is so difficult, I cannot do it. But think about it. In Vietnam or any other country, how many English center? Because a lot of people cannot learn English or cannot speak English very well. It's just the common thing for learning a new language. I am receiving a lot of bad feedback on my Instagram, on my social page. Maybe random person just come up to me and say, "Oh, you need to learn more. I will teach you how to pronounce. Your pronunciation is not good enough." And this is a very common thing for the people who is learning a new language. I am learning English for 18 years so far. But just recently when I'm talking to my friend, my American friend, and she was saying, I live in a small village. But what I heard is, I feel like shit. I don't know how can this happen with my ear and my friend, but it actually happened. So for someone who actually learning English like me for a long time, I still make a lot of mistakes sometimes, and people misunderstand me. It's very normal. So there are 3 stages of learning a new language. The first stage is connecting to the language. It takes from 60 to 80 hours where you need to repeat and listen to the sentence many times. Where you need to have a sense for the language. Where you need to know how the language works. You need to learn and remember the basic word, the basic conjunction, to make a basic sentence. Second stage is get used to the language or getting comfortable with the language. Where you feel very comfortable, you can express yourself, you can say whatever you want, and where you need to expand your vocabularies. The last stage is get the feeling for the language. Like, for example, if you say heart in your language and you kind of have the feeling for the word, to reach to this level, you can actually feel when you say hurt is đau in Vietnamese. So for me, most difficult part of learning a new language is a beginning stage. When you just barely get used to the language, you have not much vocabularies, maybe your accent is not very well, and people misunderstand you a lot of the time or don't understand you a lot of the time. But I never tell myself that, oh my God, English is so difficult. How can I learn it? Maybe I should just give it up. Is a barrier from myself. If I keep telling myself that my English is really bad, it's shit, I have a lot of mistakes, people cannot understand me, and since then, my brain will keep concentrate on that thought and collect every single mistake I have made and every single time that people misunderstanding me or I don't have enough vocabulary to explain something. So every day I just tell myself that my English is good enough for me to achieve my goal. And I will work on it. I will spend more and more time to improve my English every single day and step by step. Maybe today I didn't know that word. I have to use another way to explain. But I will spend more time to learn more vocabularies and then until one day it's become mine. You know, nobody can stop you to do what you actually really want to do. The point is, maybe today you cannot do it or you make it slower than another person because everyone have different talent. Some are very good at learning language. Some is not as good at this. You know, everything, every thought, every negative thought about yourself is only come from your mind. Because as a human being, we always understand ourselves the most and we're judging ourselves everything. But this is not the fact. In reality, nobody cares, nobody really laughing at you about your language or what you want to say. I know sometimes Vietnamese people are laughing at you, but it's not because of they think your English is so bad. Most often, they were just laughing at you because they think you are so cute when you speak Vietnamese language. Even you can just say Xin chào. I bet that Vietnamese people were smiling at you. They were so happy because you're willing to learn their language. Vietnamese people are very friendly. We happy to see a foreigner walking on the street. And how precious is it when that foreigner starts speaking Vietnamese to me? Even just say hello or they would just say xin chào and smiling and they see that you trying to speak Vietnamese, they would really appreciate that. One of my students told me she just barely speak Vietnamese and she learned how to say you are so beautiful. And she say it to the one who sell product to her. And instead of just 1 year warranty, when she said chị đẹp quá, yeah, you know what happened? She got 2 year quarantine. I want you to practice speaking Vietnamese language more, at least 10 minutes a day to bring it to your life. If you live in foreign country, you don't meet any Vietnamese people to practice, you can just learn new vocabularies. Just put it in your life. You see a fridge, you think in Vietnamese, what is it? You see your friend, you're thinking how to greet with her in Vietnamese. Be patient and practice more. Overcome the barrier that stop you reach your goal. From stop you to do what you really want to do. Whenever someone didn't understand you or you've been slow, remember the reason why you want to start doing learning Vietnamese. And remind yourself of how good Vietnamese you are now and don't stop it. So if someone didn't understand you, you would tell them to speak slower or you slower yourself and keep repeat it again. And if that person can speak English, you can ask them how to say it correctly. So just do it every day and your Vietnamese is slowly improve. Thanks for watching my video. Like and follow for more. Bye!